Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a thought-provoking exploration of human interactions and misunderstandings as we discuss Malcolm Gladwell's fascinating book, Talking to Strangers. What we should know about the people we don't know. This journey is about unraveling the layers of trust, perception, and miscommunication that shape our understanding of others. If you enjoy content that challenges your thinking and expands your perspective, be sure to subscribe and join us for more transformative insights. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Challenge of Understanding Strangers. Why is it so hard to understand strangers? Gladwell opens the book with a profound question. Why do we often get people wrong? To illustrate this, he recounts the tragic story of Sandra Bland, a young woman whose encounter with a police officer escalated in ways that highlight how misunderstandings can lead to devastating outcomes. The central premise is that humans are wired to trust others. This default to truth is necessary for society to function, but also makes us vulnerable to deception. Gladwell emphasizes that misunderstandings arise not just from bad intentions, but from systemic flaws in how we interpret behavior. Through captivating anecdotes, we're reminded that every interaction with a stranger is a complex puzzle. The key to solving it lies in understanding our biases and assumptions. Chapter 2. Default to Truth. One of Gladwell's core ideas is the concept of default to truth. This means we're predisposed to believe people are honest unless there's overwhelming evidence to the contrary. While this tendency fosters trust and cooperation, it can also leave us susceptible to lies. Gladwell shares the story of Bernie Madoff, the infamous financier who orchestrated one of history's largest Ponzi schemes. How did Madoff deceive so many intelligent people for so long? The answer lies in our default to truth. People wanted to believe Madoff's success story and ignored red flags because skepticism requires effort and discomfort. This chapter challenges us to reflect on our own tendency to trust and reminds us of the importance of questioning what seems too good to be true. Chapter 3. Transparency and Miscommunication. Have you ever assumed someone's outward behavior accurately reflects their inner thoughts? This assumption is what Gladwell calls transparency, and it's a flawed belief. To explain, Gladwell recounts the case of Amanda Knox, an American student accused of murder in Italy. Knox's demeanor, which seemed unemotional and detached, led investigators to view her as guilty. However, cultural differences and personality traits often lead to misinterpretation. This chapter highlights the dangers of assuming transparency and teaches us to approach interactions with more humility and less judgment. Chapter 4. Coupling. The context matters. Gladwell introduces the concept of coupling, which argues that behavior is strongly influenced by context. He uses the example of Sylvia Plath's tragic suicide and how access to specific means of self-harm played a significant role in her death. By understanding coupling, we learn that behavior cannot be fully understood in isolation. Circumstances, environments, and situational factors are critical. This insight encourages us to think beyond the individual and consider the broader context in our evaluations of others. Chapter 5. The Problem with Experts. Even experts can make mistakes when interpreting strangers. Gladwell explores the limitations of expert judgment through the case of Neville Chamberlain, the British Prime Minister who trusted Adolf Hitler's assurances of peace before World War II. Chamberlain's failure wasn't due to naivety, but to overconfidence in his ability to read Hitler's intentions. This chapter underscores the importance of humility. even for those with specialized knowledge, and cautions against over-reliance on gut instincts. Chapter 6. The Puzzle of Stranger Interactions. In this chapter, Gladwell revisits some of history's most infamous misunderstandings, from the wrongful convictions of innocent people to tragic misinterpretations in law enforcement. He argues that our interactions with strangers often resemble solving a puzzle without all the pieces. Assumptions, biases, and systemic factors all contribute to misunderstandings. The key takeaway is that improving our interactions requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to question our initial impressions. Chapter 7. Lessons for Everyday Life. What can we do to become better at understanding strangers? Gladwell offers practical advice. 1. Be aware of your biases. Acknowledge that your perspective is limited and shaped by your experiences. 2. Don't assume transparency. Remember that people's outward behavior may not reflect their true intentions. 3. Consider the context. Look beyond the individual and evaluate the broader circumstances influencing their actions. By applying these principles, we can foster more meaningful connections and reduce misunderstandings in our daily lives. Conclusion: a call for empathy. Gladwell's Talking to Strangers is a powerful reminder of the complexities of human interaction. It challenges us to approach strangers with curiosity, humility, and empathy. Instead of rushing to judgment, we're encouraged to seek understanding and acknowledge the limitations of our own perceptions. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of Malcolm Gladwell's most impactful works. If you found this exploration insightful, please subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Together, let's build a world where understanding and empathy take precedence over assumptions and misunderstandings. See you next time.